60 Minutes Overtime.
When producer Dragan Mihalovic and correspondent Bob Simon arrived in this African refugee camp in the spring of 2001, they thought they'd simply be reporting the story of orphaned boys rescued by an American airlift. They had no idea that the assignment would turn into a 12-year journey for 60 Minutes.
Take it together and put it in.
When you've been reporting for a while, you run into a lot of people who've suffered. But these guys were unique. First of all, the horror of what they had been through was just incomprehensible. There was no self-pity, were no tears. They just told in a very, very matter-of-fact, factual way what they had been through. And you just knew that every word coming out of their mouths was the truth.
You have to urinate so that you drink your own urine.
Did you ever do it yourself?
Yeah, I didn't want to die.
Most of the people who've come across the Lost Boys, really fall for them. I'd never, ever come across a group of people that were that innocent.
This is a little what winter in America feels like.
Innocent sounds like an understatement, but I don't know what other word you could come up with.
In the early days, they would ask, like, well, how many cows do you have? Well, we don't really herd cows in our backyard. There was one guy, one Lost Boy, who desperately wanted to go to Chicago. And you start to think, like, well, do you have relatives in Chicago? And then he says, no, I understand there are a lot of bulls there. And then you think, oh my God, Chicago Bulls. So he had seen, a T-shirt from the NBA Chicago Bulls and thought that that would be a great place to go.
For a herdsman.
For a herdsman.
They were from little villages and lived the kind of village life that their parents and great-grandparents had always lived, and it hadn't changed. This is the real thing. I mean, this is Africa. And these kids, you can see the astonishment on their faces when they're looking at a camera crew.
I don't know which side thought the other was weirder. I love this one picture. I'm posing, and this one young man here, he's looking at me like, which tree did you drop from?
You can see this kid's eyes. It's not, who is that? It's what is that? They came from not another century, another millennia.
Don't touch, because it burns.
It's hot.
Time and dates were a new concept for a lot of these guys. I mean, the State Department, when these Lost Boys came, they all gave them the same birth date. All of their passports that they have, or all of their papers, have the exact same birth date, January 1st, 1980.
It was an extraordinary thing for the Americans to take these guys in. It was really the motto of the Statue of Liberty coming true.
If any group could be described as you're tired, you're poor, you're huddled masses yearning to breathe free, it was these Lost Boys from the south of Sudan.
To tell this story, the 60 Minutes team needed to select 2 Lost Boys out of thousands to follow from Africa to their new lives in America. The first requirement? Good English.
What are you bringing with you?
Yeah, I have the bag here and the document on it.
But they also needed 2 good storytellers. Producer Dragan Mihalovic almost missed Abraham until he said this.
I've been called a lost boy, but I'm not lost from God. I lost from my parents. May God help me.
And it was like, okay, you're in.
So a TV producer hears a line like that, and would he just go weak in the knees?
He says that, and Bob just goes,
We're going to come with you to make sure everything's fine, to make sure that the people treat you good. Because if they don't treat you good, they'll be in trouble with us.
Then there was Joseph, the second Lost Boy they followed, who dreamed of coming to America but had begun to lose hope that his name would ever appear on the list. The 60 Minutes team learned that Joseph had made the cut before he did. It must have been hard to keep that to yourself.
absolutely.
Or maybe tomorrow you'll learn that you're going to America.
Well, I don't know. My name has not yet appeared.
What's new?
Something new. Yeah, I've seen my name on the board.
Your name's on the board, huh?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
This is Kansas City.
Kansas City?
Yeah.
It's a very American story. And for me, it was also a personal story. Because here I was in 2001 going to a refugee camp. In this case, it was Africa. 50 years earlier, my dad had been in a refugee camp after World War II, after escaping Yugoslavia. And he was in a refugee camp, and he arrived in the United States and went to Kansas City.
Really? So when you were in Africa, were you already thinking about your dad at that point?
I was thinking about my dad. You know, there's this great uncertainty as to when are you going, and if you are going, where are you going? And I kept thinking about my dad. He held out, hoping to go to the United States, and then his day came, and he was told that he was, in fact, going to go on a boat to the United States. Got to New York, and then they gave him a bus ticket and $10 and said, you're going to Kansas City. Kansas where?
Same trajectory that you followed with A Lost Boy.
The same trajectory that we followed with Joseph Tabone.
There it is.
Oh, yeah.
You see the buildings?
Yeah, yeah.
That is Kansas City.
I see. I didn't know that this place is so big like this.
The tragedy is there was no appetite for immigration after 9/11, so a lot of the boys who might have had a chance to come here, the whole program was canceled.
Do you ever think about the lost boys who were left behind?
I do. There was one lost boy named Zachariah Magok. The day that we got there, I was like, hi, my name is Zachariah Magok, friendly as can be, you know. And he would just follow me everywhere.
Who's helping you?
He was helping. He wanted to help, and then he would carry the tripod. Well, you know, the tripod's heavier than he was, but he wanted to help.
So he became sort of your buddy in the field.
Right, and he was desperate to leave. His name hadn't appeared on the list.
Are you worried about it?
I'm worried.
And you're worried that you're going to see your friends go to America and you will stay here?
Of course.
He was asking questions about America, and I said, oh, you know, you'd be great in America.
If you go to America and you could do any job in the world.
I can't do any job.
But is there any job you would like to do very much?
No. Any job in America, I have to do it.
You'd like to work very hard?
It's okay. We are the hard workers.
Dragan tried to help the young man get to America. The producer even wrote a letter to the State Department vouching for his work ethic. He gave him some clothing and a jar of peanut butter.
I said, no, you've got to really take it easy. This was pretty rich stuff. You know, nod, you know, I understand. So I saw him the next day. He looked a little different. I said, are you okay? And he just sort of rubbed his stomach. I said, you ate the peanut butter, didn't you? He goes, yes.
So what became of him?
I don't know. I hope he's safe. I also wonder a little bit, you know, what might have been. You know, had he come to the United States, you know, had he maybe been in the New York area, maybe he would have been a sound man or something, you know, learned a trade.
After the 2001 story aired, it was easier for the 60 Minutes team to stay in touch with Abraham and Joseph.
Stop, Joseph. Stop. Break.
As they adapted to life in America.
Don't let go, Joseph.
And they stayed in touch with us. You know, I just heard from Joseph the other day. I get a phone call. It was Joseph wanting to wish me and my family a happy St. Patrick's Day. So he's not Irish, but you know, he wanted to send his blessings on
You're not Irish either.
No, I'm not Irish either. I don't know.
They call when major events happen in their lives.
Congratulations, you're a United States citizen.
New jobs, graduations, children born. So 60 Minutes became part of their new family in America.
I think so. I definitely think so.
We stayed with them all the time. I mean, not every week. They'd become friends, and we wanted to know what was going on. And after 12 years, we thought, well, let's do another story.
How are you doing,
man?
Been a long time.
It's been 7 years.
Listen, I've been doing stories for a very long time.
You put on some weight.
We've seen a lot, we reporters. So we don't get deeply moved quite as often as we might. But this was deeply moving. And our affection, our love for these boys was quite something.